Yo, 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 it's the Co.
Yo, 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 it's the Cone. Welcome to the overrated and underrated XIs. We're going to start with overrated. We're doing 4-4-3-3, so four defenders, three midfielders, three attackers, goalie, and a manager. Marco, you want to get us started off?
Sure. In goal, I have someone who's been in that spotlight for a very long time. I have Andres Onana.
Okay. All right.
I just feel like if he wanted to be somewhat rated and somewhat underrated, he should have left Ajax a long time ago. Like he came up from the Barcelona academy, he moved to Ajax, and he hasn't. The only time I've seen someone talk about him is when Ajax made it pretty far in 2019 and 2020. Ever since then, I have basically heard horrible things about him. Basically,
Well, he's at Inter now, right?
yeah, he's at Inter now.
Okay.
At my right, I have a very controversial one because defensively he's not a good player, but attacking he is a very excellent player. I have Trent Arnold-Alexander. I feel like he is somewhat overrated on the right side. I feel like there is better right wingers in the Prem and in England that are way better than him. Like I think he's very overrated on the defensive side. To play as a right back, I feel like if he wants to be somewhat good, he should probably switch his position to right mid or center mid and kind of show that more of attacking side than a defensive side. My right center back is Harry Maguire.
That's fair.
I feel like Harry Maguire has proven to be one of the worst center backs in the Premier League and in the world. He is a whole different story with the England squad.
And I think that's why people overrate him is because for some reason when he plays for England, he's just like he's class, he's great. But yeah, I think that kind of people that are more just watch it at a national level are very ingrained like, "Oh, this guy's solid," when
Like
struggles.
he's world class at picking up the ladies, but like on the pitch, I don't see any world class there. At my left center back, I have Clement Lenglet. I feel like Barcelona let him go for a reason. I feel like he wasn't proving himself to be their star center back. And even at Spurs, I feel like he struggles way more than what he was doing in Barcelona. And I feel like that's why I put him in the overrated. On the left back, I have Sergio Reguilon. I feel like ever since he left, like people who leave the top clubs, like Real Madrid and Barcelona,
Mhm.
leave for a reason. Like they get sold for a reason.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he didn't prove himself to be the left side of Real Madrid, and I feel like he hasn't proven himself to be the left side of any team he's been on.
I was between him and another guy for my left back and yeah.
And my center mid, my first one, I have the middle one, is Paul Pogba. I feel like he's been very injury prone, and when he comes back, there's so much hype around him, but he proves to do nothing on the pitch. Like, I'm happy he's a World Cup champion, but on the pitch on any other team, he doesn't prove himself. On my left side, I have Renato Sanchez,
Okay.
someone who's been in the spotlight for many years and hasn't proven himself. How are you going to be on the best team in the world on paper and still be a bench player?
He also wasn't picked for the Portugal squad in the World Cup, which I know some people were upset about, but like it's not for no reason.
It's for a reason.
Yeah.
On the right side, I have your own truly Mason Mount. I feel like this whole Chelsea team just goes down the drain.
You could just put the whole starting 11 of Chelsea.
Yeah, except Enzo Fernandez. Like
Yeah.
the new players you really can't put in there,
Yeah.
but anyone that was before, yeah, go ahead and put them there. On the left wing side, I have Neymar. I've been hearing a lot of news that that PSG is so much better without Neymar. And I agree. I've seen it happen. Like, I feel like without Neymar on the pitch, they do so much better. And maybe we see it because he is injured. You know, it's really shocking to see he gets injured around this time all the time. Maybe big hopes to his sister. It's her birthday soon, but
it's New Year's and his sister's birthday. This one, like, you saw, like, the ankle was bad on this one, but, like,
still, some people get over it.
yeah.
Some people are like, oh, just take me out and then I'll be fine for the next week. But I feel like Neymar, I don't know, he's just, ever since the teams, when they leave big clubs, like when they leave Barcelona or when they leave Real Madrid, they leave for a reason. He left for the money. Basically, the Kevin Durant football, like you leave for the money. That's one of the reasons I think he's overrated. And maybe we will see it on the pitch against Bayern Munich next week if PSG do better. But I do see him as an overrated player. On the right side, he doesn't play left or right wing. He plays left wing, but I had to include him in here. We have Jackie Grealish.
Your own guy.
That's my own guy. Yeah, but 100 million euros or 100 million whatever dollars euros still, and he's a bench player. When I see him in the pitch, I get so excited. Why? Because I love Jack Grealish. He did amazing in the Euros, but just for 100 million, it's kind of like the Coutinho. Like, I could have put Coutinho in here, but I just feel like Neymar and Grealish were very, very top picks on this. And at my striker, it's very controversial, but I do have João Felix. Like, I have to see him prove.
All right.
He's good on Chelsea to take him out of the overrated squad. But I just feel like he is very, very overrated.
Okay.
Like, I hope to see all of these players turn out to be, again, like, not overrated and to be the best player.
It's not like a hate thing.
It's not a hate thing, but it's just when you get so much hype and you can't perform, then you it's like you do it on yourself. Like, and I think this is my starting 11, like, most overrated.
Wow. That's bold. You wanna go through the team quick?
So at goalkeeper, I have Andres Onana. At my right back, I have Trent Arnold-Alexander. At my left back, I have Sergio Reguilón. At my two center backs, I have Clement Lenglet and Harry Maguire. And my three center mids, I have Renato Sanchez, Paul Pogba, and Mason Mount. At my left wing, I have Neymar. My right wing, I have Jack Grealish. And at my striker, I have João Felix.
Wow. I have a couple.
Bones to pick?
Yeah, a couple. Yeah. Trent being there is so wild to me, and we just talked about Neymar, so I'll save that. I understand your reasoning for him. But Trent definitely has been off his game this year, and they're like it was kind of tough to choose like the left and right back. Like there aren't a lot of options because the ones that are true game changers are true game changers. Then everyone else is just like they're all right, like like they do a job. So I guess that's fine, but Onana as well. That's
I have someone else in mind, but I just wanted to put Onana on the.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I have someone on the bench I have three people on the bench that I think are more overrated.
We'll talk about honorable mentions after. All right.
I'm
My
I'm excited to hear yours.
all right. I'll start in goal. My goalie is Emi Martinez. Look, he can make penalty saves. Great. I think he's an average keeper who was good, a nice penalty saver, made a couple really nice saves for Argentina in the World Cup in the final. He's just average to me. Like, he won best goalie in the world. He's playing at Aston Villa for a reason. Like, he's not playing for Real Madrid, for Barcelona, for one of the big six. Like, I don't see the hype with him.
I just feel like it's because of the World Cup save goal. I think that's why he won goalkeeper.
I don't think he's a bad goalie,
No,
but he's like a 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10 for me, and people think he's 9, 10 in this top 10 list for goalies. Still, good goalie, okay goalie. Not as good as people think. My right back, I have Matty Cash, also from Aston Villa. I promise it's not a whole Aston Villa team. He's just like not that good. Like, he's struggling to get game time over Ashley Young, who's been in the Premier League for what feels like longer than we've been alive. And he's struggling to get game time, struggling to start over him. Same with Emi Martinez. Like, I just don't see it. I think he's okay. People really rate him. He was solid for Poland, from what I saw, but I don't think he's as good as where people say, or where people rate him. I'm gonna save my right center back until I say my first center back, but my left center back is Christian Romero from Spurs. I was gonna partner him with Lloris in the overrated, but I feel like this season people are kind of starting to realize that Lloris has fallen off a little bit, so I decided not to put him there. Just I don't want to make it worse for him. But Christian Romero, he just hasn't been that good this year. People really rate him. I don't see it personally. Like, people rank him with some of the better center backs in the Premier League, and I don't think he's on their level. I'll put him in the second, third tier, but just a bit overrated for me. My right center back is Virgil van Dijk.
Whoa.
Look, a couple years ago, even as recent as last year, he was the best center back in the world. I think he's fallen off a bit this year. And the fall off from best center back in the world and you go down a little bit, it doesn't mean that you're bad all of a sudden. He's still very good. But he is just not cutting it this year. And Liverpool are 6th in the Premier League. They're underperforming, whatever. They're getting back into their ways. I don't think he's a top 3 in even the Premier League at this point, especially not in the world. I'll get to more underrated people that I do think at least one of the people in my underrated are better than he is, if not both. My left back is Lucas Digne, a third Aston Villa player on the list. Not a hate thing. I don't have anything against Aston Villa. But again, I think it's similar to Matty Cash, where people think he's a lot better than he is, and I think he's okay. He's a pretty average left back in the Premier League. And the same with Emi Martinez and Matty Cash. He's at Aston Villa for a reason. It's not because he's this world beater who just happens to be on a okay squad. Like, I think he's okay, and that's about all I see in him.
Let me guess, your first center mid, Felipe Coutinho.
That's it. There's no more Aston Villa players, I promise. Yeah, I don't think Digne is as good as I've seen people say he is. Moving on to the midfield, I have 2 attacking-minded midfielders and 1 defensive. I'll start with defensive. I have Fabinho from Liverpool.
Oh,
fallen off a cliff this year. I know Liverpool fans still rate him from what I've seen. There's definitely been more hate on him than in the past. The whole midfield just gets flamed, except for Thiago, who I was almost gonna put in this list, and then I realized he's really good, so I decided not to. Yeah, Fabinho just hasn't been that good this year. I wouldn't put him anywhere near a top defensive midfielders. He's not in that Casemiro, Rodri, Partey group anymore. Even Conte, I do rate higher, even though he's been injured all year. Yeah, Fabinho.
I just feel like it's his time to go, basically.
Yeah.
Like, you have two young center mids on the squad already. Like, you're just letting them sit for what? Like,
Yeah.
lose potential. Like, you have Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott, who are 21 and 19.
Yeah.
Like, give them some playtime. Like,
and thankfully they've been getting Baljetic more time, and he's been great. And I don't think it's come really at the expense of Fabinho, because Fabinho is a lot more defensive minded, whereas Baljetic is kind of just that central, connecting midfielder, and I think he's been great there. But yeah, Fabinho's time is running out in the Premier League, or at least at Liverpool. He can go to another club, and I think he'll be okay. He'll be fine. But the time's running out at the top, I think, for him. My second midfielder is Kai Havertz. He's known for the winning goal in the Champions League a couple years ago and against City, and he just hasn't been good this year. Like, I like Kai Havertz. I do think he's talented, but the product on the pitch this season just hasn't cut it. And yeah, he's not there for me.
I just saw here he has almost 15 less goals and the same amount of games that he had with Leverkusen and Chelsea. Like,
yeah,
how do you lose the ability to stop scoring goals?
He's all of a sudden just not able to. It's weird. But again, you could put the whole Chelsea squad in there right now, and I was choosing between him and Mount, but for now I just have to put Havertz there. My other midfielder is Fabio Vieira from Arsenal. I saw people comparing him with someone like Bruno Fernandes up until maybe a couple months ago, like around the World Cup time, and he's not close. Like, he's struggling to get game time because he's not at that level. Like, I think the only reason that I consider him overrated is because he's in that conversation with a Bruno, where he doesn't produce the same numbers. And I know goals and assists aren't everything, but he's just not as impactful. And he's put in that conversation, and he really shouldn't be. And that's really the main reason why I think he's overrated. Moving on to the three attackers. Left wing, I have another Chelsea player in Raheem Sterling. Product hasn't been there this year. I think that's kind of the main reason for me. He moved from City to Chelsea, which is a drop, and it wasn't because of money, because of this, because of that, because he was losing his place. That was simply it, I think. Grealish is there, Foden is there, Mahrez is there, and it makes it tough for him to get that consistent time where he's kind of got it at Chelsea. I think he plays a fair amount for what he's done, but I don't even think he's. I at this point I'd rather play someone like Mykhailo Mudryk or a João Felix on the wing, which I know he's played as that center forward spot, but yeah, I'd rather see other people than him, because I do think there's been a bit of a fall off. On the right, I have Jared Bowen from West Ham. people really like Jared Bowen. That was like the main thing when I was looking at people for this team. Like, people consider him one of the better forwards in the Premier League. And I mean, I watched him today, which was after I had already made the lineup, and he's just to me. I don't see the end product. And again, the numbers haven't been there this year, which as an attacker is very important. But yeah, that's Jared Bowen, my right wing. My striker, another guy. I think my main theme of this was people who were once very good and have kind of fallen off a little bit. My striker is Romelu Lukaku.
Okay.
He's played 12 games in the Serie A this year, only has 2 goals, which, as a striker, I know your main job isn't just to score goals, but it's pretty important to score goals as a striker. And his ratings haven't been there. The goals haven't been there. He's not a heavy assist guy. He's just for me, right?
I have a funny like when we were watching the Belgium game against Croatia.
Yeah.
I remember how we said he was allergic to scoring goals.
Yeah. That was a part of
Well, he had 4 clear chances to score a goal.
In the
One
last
goal advances Belgium to the round of 16, and he couldn't commit 1 goal.
He couldn't do it. It was like hard to watch. Like, I was getting angry watching it because it was just like the chances were there and he just couldn't do it. And he's been struggling at Inter as well. And yeah, he's my striker for my overrated team. I'll run through it quick. My goalie is Emi Martinez. On the right, I have Matty Cash. My 2 center backs are Virgil van Dijk and Christian Romero. Lucas Digne is my left back. My 3 midfielders are Fabinho, Kai Havertz, Fabio Vieira. My left wing is Raheem Sterling. My right wing is Jared Bowen. And my striker is Romelu Lukaku.
Do you have any honorable mentions? Because I have 3.
Not entirely. I think Lloris was one of them. I swear there were others. I didn't put any on my bench as I was choosing. I think Mount was another one of my honorable mentions. But I think that was about it.
So the 3 that I had was Kepa. I had 1 as Kepa.
I like Kepa. I think
I feel like you can see where I come from.
Yeah.
Like, at the beginning of the season, he was looking promising.
He was the best shot stopper in the world for.
Yeah, he was
fully in the world for about a month.
And then it just only happened. Like, his old times just came back and said, "You're done."
He's a little inconsistent, and by a little I mean he's very inconsistent.
I have Jorginho as my second honorable mention.
I was thinking about him. Now that I think of it,
like ever since the Euros, he was proven to be one of the best in the world during the Euros.
He was top 3 in the Ballon d'Or.
How? And look at him now. He's just not performing.
Yeah, he's very okay.
And then my other one is another one who left the 2 big clubs in the world. I have Sergio Dest.
Okay. Right.
I know as a U.S. national team, did he start or did Yellen start?
He started. He was good. He was good in the World Cup, but he wasn't giving a full 90 every game.
I just found them overrated.
Okay. I get that. All right, that is the overrated XIs. I'll put the lineups here quick. Here's mine. Here's it. Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you want to check out our first video, there's going to be a link somewhere around here. It's going to be over there or here. If you want to subscribe, click our thing here or over there, or I don't know how. I'll choose one of them. And yeah, peace out.
Lucas.